Joe Razor Sharp, for those you may not know, of Bootsy's Rubber Band, passed away just like a day or so ago. Maybe by the time you see this, maybe a few days ago. And Rob has been knowing him since he was like a small child or whatever. So I was thinking about you as I was on the plane getting up here, man. Any thoughts about Razor Sharp? I know you have a ton of them.
Absolutely. Joel Razor Sharp Johnson, man. First of all, Razor, when I think about it, Razor, if you ever met Razor, he was he's a phenomenal musician. So people give Bernie Worrell his props. They give, you know what I mean, he wouldn't have been on stage with Bootsy and George Clinton and all those guys for as long as he did if he was not a phenomenal musician. So I just think back, man, to being a kid, 11, 12 years old, hanging around the studio, man, watching Bootsy put records together like Body Slam and working on that One Give It Didn't Count, Take It Away album, Dynamite, all that stuff. Working on the Godmama album and all that. And so I go back to those days with them, 1980, 1981, 82, when I first met Razor. And Razor was always an inspirational guy. He's always a funny guy, effervescent, a little eccentric, but a heck of a musician. When I started years later, so I've known him all through in that period of time, all as a kid growing up around the rubber band and all that. And then when I started doing my Southern Soul and my blues stuff, one thing stands out in my mind. I went and got Razor. I got a song called I'm Ready to Party, and he's helped me play the bass on there. I got a song I did with the Barcades called Jerry Curl Music. And I actually started that record, man, come to think of it, with Razor. I went down to Cincinnati, my hometown, got Razor, brought him back, brought him to the studio. We sit there with the Mini Moog, and I'm like, come on, man, let's do this, let's do that. But the biggest one that sticks out in my mind, I got a song called It Ain't a Party Till You Play the Blues. And we went to a recording studio because I wanted to get a live feel. And the only keyboard that was in there was actually a B3 organ. And so I said, okay, Razor, I want you to do a solo on here, right? And Razor, man, he laid one of the coldest organ solos. I'm talking about Booker T and the MGs, Jimmy Smith, all them, Jimmy McGriff, to that caliber. And then in the middle of doing his solo, we heard this, and he had some trick that he did that all those old school guys used to do, where the B3 organ doesn't have a pitch bend on it, a modulation like more modern synthesizers do. Right. But Razor knew how to make that thing make all kind of noises. He kicked the plug out, played a little riff, and then kicked the plug out and cut the power off. He just did all kind of stuff. So, and then just look up, and he always had that. When I think about Razor, I think about his smile. I'll always think about his smile and his hold on one second, y'all. They call on the Bigg Robb hotline. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, this is my wife here. Yes, baby, I'm live on TV doing an interview. What's happening? Yeah, they can just put some mayonnaise on it, baby. Tomato and onion. I appreciate that. All right, thank you. All right.
That's Bigg Robb. That's really who he is. What you see is really who he is.
They call on the Bigg Robb hotline, and I'll give you the number before I get done with this interview. But so thinking about, and I needed that because now that I think about Razor, who is somebody who I've known, man, this is a whole different TV subject, but I'll speak on it. You edit it out. There are a lot of unsung guys around Cincinnati, Ohio, my hometown, who either played with James Brown or Bootsy or the funk movement or whatever it is. Guys like Don Juan Tiger Martin. When I think about Razor, I have to talk about Don Juan Tiger Martin, who was one of the original JBs. When you watch the videos of Bootsy and Catfish, they don't never call Tiger's name like that.
One of the baddest drummers,
but one of the
funkiest drummers you ever hear.
Right. One of the coldest drummers ever. He's up there on the video with him, live in Paris, 1971. And, so Tiger. And then when I started thinking about the guys who I come up and grew up watching as a kid, Tiger, Mudbone, Razor, man, they got some crazy names, right? But nevertheless, phenomenal entertainers. So Razor's one of those guys, man, and just a fellow humanitarian. He also would, if you was catching a cold, he'd give you the best recipe for garlic and apple cider vinegar. And just a jokester, man, a prankster, just a wonderful guy, man. And we gonna miss him, man. And my heart goes out to the rubber band because I know that Bootsy has lost a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? He's lost a lot of guys, man. But Razor was that special one, man. That special one.
Yeah, and any doubt about his work, one of the funkiest things you'll ever hear is the Pinocchio theory. That clavinet,
that's Razor, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely
that's Razor. So much stuff, man. I mean, I'm saying, so many songs and so much stuff behind the scenes that Razor did, keeping that funk and keeping that groove going. Like I say, clavinet. Any keyboard I ever sat in front of him in the studio was ridiculous. A Prophet 5, Mini Moog, organ, grand piano, clavinet, it didn't matter, melodica. I mean, Razor Sharp Johnson from Baltimore, Maryland, right? Original member of Madhouse, which is what that was him and Bones group and them before they got with Bootsy and them. So just a phenomenal guy, man. We, like I said, we're gonna miss him, and just a funny guy, man. Razor was a character, man. He was a character. So I have a lot of wonderful memories of him, man. I sure wish he was here, cause it wouldn't be nothing I wouldn't do for him. And the craziest thing about it is that he lived around the corner from my kinfolks for like 25 years. So, and his wife, Pat, man, she was a phenomenal lady too. And so I know he was heartbroken because he lost her about 3 or 4 years ago. So but he continued to persevere. Ray's a heck of a dude, man. A true humanitarian, true brother. That's what I can tell you about him.